Oh, what a dramatic, exciting close. Whenever a national hero, a local rider can win on home soil, it always makes the story fascinating. And that's exactly what has happened here with Gerrit Nieberg winning the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Riesenbeck. Thank you very much to Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann, getting some wonderful thoughts, some lovely reaction from her throughout that jump off. Let's show you then the results today, how things finish with Gerrit winning in first place, but then how does the rest of the podium look as Petter Fredriksson finishes in second place? Been quite some time since we've seen Petter Fredriksson in and around an LGCT podium. Wonderful to have the veteran back. Harry Smolders, already a two-time winner in 2025 and a former season champion, once again on the podium. What a season this is proving to be for Harry Smolders, this time on Bingo du Parc. Jack Whittaker, the young man, will feel as if he had a really good weekend this weekend here in Riesenbeck. Jack JL jumping a double clear. He could not ask for more. Max Kuhne, the defending champion, and EIC Cooley jumped the queue, finishing with a fence down in front of Christian Allman, and Dabanix going on to have 4 as well. Kuhne and Allman, the two Shanghai Swans team members from the Global Champions League, now finishing back-to-back in the Longines Global Champions Tour. It is all about Gerrit Nieberg and ping pong, and Petter Fredriksson and Harry Smolders, who make up the rest of the podium. We get some more rider reaction, by the way, coming up in a few moments' time. We will also wait for the podium to be built. It's going to be just over our shoulder here. In fact, you're going to start to see it already. They're going to build this podium right in front of the VIP tent. That's just to my right-hand side here. And there will be the fireworks and the champagne and everything that comes with a LGCT Grand Prix victory. Yet another wonderful, wonderful performance here from the Ludger Bierbam team in Riesenbeck. Let's show you the head-to-head between Petter Fredriksson and Gerrit Nieberg to show you how he got over the line.
The difference.
Here we see the head-to-head between the two riders, Petter Fredriksson on the right-hand side, Gerrit Nieberg on the left. And here you can already see the very, very remarkable looking Gerrit Nieberg on the left-hand side with ping pong getting into that triple combination. And ironically, it's Petter Fredriksson that gets over that first fence first. But it's Gerrit Nieberg that eventually makes up the time. They have the roll back, and now all of a sudden it looks as if it's a straight shootout. Petter Fredriksson at this time again making that jump quicker. But now it's the aggressive turn, and from here, where and how then does ping pong get slightly ahead to eventually finish just slightly quicker? 46.99 versus 48.17. It's victory for Gerrit Nieberg, and unfortunately for Petter Fredriksson, it means that he will finish in second place and will not just yet earn himself a spot in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Let's talk about the man whose Chaco's Girl Star today was running up and around. Emmanuel Camille joins us in the studio as we see some pictures, some reaction of Gerrit Nieberg. Talk to me about how today was. It looked like a tough afternoon.
Oh yes, it was. The course looks really big, really difficult. And I have to say that my mare jumped fantastic, but I didn't ride as good.
What was the challenge here today? I mean, you say it looked big, it's always going to look big, but this one felt as if even the distance between the fences looked like it takes a lot of energy. You needed to be super, super rhythm. What made it so difficult out here?
Yeah, I think that the last line was particularly difficult because you have an option to head a stride, but there was a big triple bar. And then after that, you have two really tall verticals, which caused a lot of mistakes.
Talk to me about Chaco's Girls, though. I can see that you get happy when the name comes up. I know that you have a huge amount of love for this mare. Talk to me about her. What makes her so special?
She is just a pure athlete. So she just wanted to win every time she goes in the ring. And she's so careful and really, really special mare.
What did you think of the jump off?
To be honest, I didn't watch it because I had a problem in the stable, so I just was in the stable. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I will watch it tonight.
When I show you the results of Gerrit Nieberg then finishing in front of Names like Peder Fredriksson, Harry Smolders, Max Kuhner, Christian Allman. This is a superb performance from Gerrit Nyberg. What kind of a rider is he? Do you know him at all?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, he's a fantastic rider, and he already proved with this horse to be in super form. He was really good in Aachen, and was nothing unexpected.
When do we see you again on the Longines Global Championship?
I think Vienna.
In Vienna? It seems to be a very popular show. A lot of people are very excited about coming to Vienna. Emanuele, thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you.
We see you again in Vienna.
You.
We are ready for the podium celebration. As you can see, just over our shoulder, the riders are coming through. Gerrit Nyberg, Peder Fredriksson and Harry Smolders ready for their champagne and their first, second and third place finishes. Let's go off and join the podium celebration.
Really easy. Just 10 years of age. How good must that feel for Gerrit Nyberg and his team? Moving forward, and then we'll move to the podium as the others come forward, and then they'll go to the podium to receive the trophies. Grooms on hand, but well done to Gerrit as they move forward to the presentation podium. And coming forward to go to the third spot is Harry Smolders coming forward, and Peder Fredriksson threw down the gauntlet but just couldn't keep the momentum going in that jump off just towards the end. It's where our winner accelerated to come out on top, to win by 1.18 seconds, and listen to the cheers as they ring round here in Riesenbeck for Gerrit Nyberg. With friends and family on hand, big cheers, and I'm sure it will feel a pretty emotional moment for the 32-year-old. And why not savor that winning feeling? Here's time for the national anthem. Looking quite emotional. It's going to be an emotional few days for Gerrit Nyberg. He's getting married next week as well, so he must be feeling pretty good at the moment. And coming forward to get the third place trophy is to be handed to Harry Smolders. Another podium finish for the Dutch rider. And coming forward, Jan Top stepping forward to present Peder Fredriksson with his second place trophy. But this will feel good. Being congratulated there is our winning rider, and just congratulating Harry Smolders as well. But to receive the top spoils First of all, receiving a watch, the Longines watch, but it's Ludger Beerband, one of the figures of the sport, celebrating, handing the trophy over to one of the young guns of German show jumping, Gerrit Nyberg. What a moment for him. What a few days it will be for him, as he's getting married next week. So it couldn't be better moment for the young man, and that's why he looks quite emotional standing on the podium here in Riesenbeck. A victory that he will never forget. Is getting, I'm sure there will be plenty of these photographs in his house in future as he celebrates his first Longines Global Champions Tour victory. And now he's going to get wet, and the old boys are going to make sure that he's still got to learn how to open a bottle of champagne to get it, because he's been caught napping there. But he can enjoy the moment and get ready for his lap of honor here, which I'm sure will be loudly acclaimed. Yes, he was slow off the mark with the, but maybe the more he does these podium finishes, he will get used to doing that. But here is the standings, with Gilles Thomas out in front. Christian Kuckuck goes up ahead of Andreas Scholl and Simon Deleuze, Michael van der Vleuten. Max Kuhner going up as a result of getting through to that jump off, up into 6th. Harry Schmolders is now into 9th, following that excellent finish here, climbing up the tables. Improvements for Marcus Enning and Christian Aumann. Christian Aumann finishing 6th in that jump off. So that's how the standings look as we head on to our next leg, which we stop on the Longines Global Champions Tour in New York next week. Should be a fascinating week. New York taking center stage on the sporting stage, on the global scale, not only with the show jumping coming into town the following week. There'll be the Ryder Cup, but here it's going to be all about celebrating Gerrit Nyberg's success on the Longines Global Champions Tour, the 11th event on this global calendar. And he won't mind how wet he feels, and he's going to go on his lap of honor. Here he goes, and the cheers are going to ring round from this enthusiastic and knowledgeable. So it's Gerrit Nyberg being clapped on his lap of honor with his wonderful horse, Ping Pong van der Lintermel, celebrating a landmark victory. Wonderful. As I say, next week it's off to New York, but today the young German is celebrating.
The most striking looking horse in the jump off goes on to finish on top of the podium. Still only 10 years old, and Gerrit Nyberg's Ping Pong, that is currently busy doing a lap of honor right now inside this beautiful grass ring in Riesenbeck, is receiving all of the applause that you would imagine. Coming again for a second lap, in fact. You'll see it coming around the corner now. What a beautiful, beautiful image here in Germany for Gerrit Nyberg and this 10-year-old gelding, who As you can see just over my shoulder, let's try go wide and show you, because here Gerrit Nieberg and ping pong are about to come. What a wonderful combination. There we go. There's ping pong across your screen. Gerrit Nieberg will be joining us in a few moments' time. We'll get some reaction as well from the rest of the podium, by the way. Peter Fredriksson and Harry Smolders will be giving Dan Strange some reaction shortly. And then we will have the champion of Riesenbeck 2025 in the studio in a few moments' time. That also means, just FYI, not only is this a magnificent victory for Gerrit Nieberg, but this also means that a Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix golden ticket has now been updated. Let's take you through that list then to show you what started in Doha in the very beginning of the season. It was a double, back-to-back wins for Abdel Said and Bonny back in Doha in the state of Qatar. That was the first golden ticket to be earned. We just saw Emanuele Kimeli a few moments ago. He was able to win in Mexico. What a performance that was from the Italian to bring up the second. Scott Brash in Shanghai. Well, what a season Scott Brash has had in 2025, going on to win in Shanghai as we return there. Yoli Mitlineo in Madrid. What an incredible performance that was. Her first ever Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix win as she won. Look at that celebration, what it meant to her. Harry Smolders, the season that is turning out to be magnificent for the Dutchman. The first of two victories. The first winning in Cannes. Of course, that meant that a second victory later went to a different rider. Ken Farrington winning in Ramachuel, Saint-Tropez, the American, adding his list to the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix later this year. From Ramachuel, Saint-Tropez and Ken Farrington, the party moved on to Paris. Gilles Thomas, the young Belgian who leads the championship, is the favorite for the title, goes on to win in Paris and pick up his ticket there. Well, in Monaco, Simon Delestre, a man who is still very much involved in that championship hunt, goes on to win in Monaco. What a massive payday that was for the Frenchman as he went on to go and win there. Christian Kukuk in London. He was up against Ben Mayer in that jump-off, breaking British hearts, as it was the German rider who was go on to be victorious in London and pick up his Longines Global Champions to a Super Grand Prix ticket. Because of the victory of Harry Smolders and Valkenswaard, that golden ticket then goes to Nicola Philippaerts. The Belgian will now be off to the GC playoffs in Prague at the end of the year. Good second place finish for him, enough to secure his tickets to the LGCT Super Grand Prix. And that brings us to the current time. Gerrit Nieberg in Riesenbeck puts his name on that write-up. He puts his name on that start list. And with a couple stages still to go, that is going to grow even more now as we move further and further down the season. Let's get some thoughts then from the third place. Harry Smolders standing by with Dan Strange.
I'm in the LGCT again. How do you feel after that? You did everything you could, it seemed.
Yeah, I'm super pleased with Bingo. He stepped up, he jumped even better, and very solid round. As first to go in is never easy, but I had a very solid round, and thank you. And I think it was not much more possible for me today. I'm very happy with the third place.
Look, Beerbaum just saying well done to you. All the riders seemed to be very sensible with how they took their horses. Technical course again in the jump-off.
Yeah, with tall verticals. You see also it was possible probably to go faster, but you had to pay that off with a fault. No.
Obviously the season for you, you're well over 100 points to the season now. Where do we see you next? What's the plan?
The plan is I go to Vienna with Monaco, and we take it from there, probably Rome. I'm not sure. I need to evaluate what I do with Bingo. Next plan again, but the next stop is definitely Vienna.
Harry, thanks for your time and well done this weekend.
Thank you. You're welcome.
The response and the thoughts of Harry Smolders are ready to LGCT Grand Prix wins in 2025, and already a Longines Global Champions to a Super Grand Prix Golden Ticket winner himself. Harry Small is very satisfied and very happy with the performance of Bingo Duparc as he goes on to get yet another Longines Global Champions Tour podium finish. An incredible performance and a wonderful double clear from the Dutchman. Speaking of that podium finish, let's continue to then get some reaction. Let's now hear from second place. This is Peder Fredriksson.
Peder, it's great to have a legend back on the Longines Global Champions Tour. Your last podium 2023. How does it feel to be back on the podium?
Oh, it's great to be back. Really nice.
Today, you just didn't quite have enough. You had a fall in the warm-up. Obviously, a good response to that.
Yeah, my horse tripped and I fell off. It wasn't too bad, but I could start one rider later, and my horse was okay, so that was fine.
You've won a lot. Today, it was a youngster's chance to get there, go at the top of the podium. Give some words on Gerrit's performance.
Gerrit is a fantastic rider. I think he really brings out the best of the horses he rides, and I'm really happy for his win today.
So what's the plan for you now, looking ahead for the rest of the season?
I'll do Vienna in 2 weeks, and then I go to Rabat, is the plan.
Well done today, and see you there.
Thank you.
How wonderful to have Peder Fredriksson back on a Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix podium. A wonderful performance from himself and Al Capone to finish in second place, defeated by one man and one man only. A local hero celebrated by those in attendance here in the Riesenbeck International. I wanted to offer Gerrit Nieberg a beer to celebrate. He only has to deal with water. What did you say when I offered you a beer?
I had enough champagne already, but mostly on my back. So.
Oh, Gerrit, what a wonderful day this must be for you. Try and take me through the emotions that you are experiencing right now.
Exactly, it's difficult to find the right words right now. I'm more than happy with him, how he jumped everything the first round already, and then the second round or the jump off. I was not counting at all with this, to be honest. I just want to deliver 1-2 smooth, nice, clear rounds. But that it would be enough for the win today, and was not counting at all with this.
When did it start to become realistic for you? Because if I think about it, you were relatively early to go, third to go. There's still, after you, Christian Allman, Max Kuhner, Peder Fredriksson. No rider in the world sees that coming and thinks, well, this is my time. Were you watching very closely? Were you hiding away? How do you react when these riders follow up?
Okay, I saw the first two on the screen a little bit on the warm-up. But it was difficult to say if they were really quick or not. Mm-hmm. So I just tried to do everything right. And then I was, of course, watching the other three behind me. And then, Christian had one down. And then luckily it was fast enough.
I had Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann in the studio a little bit earlier on. And she had so much to say about ping pong. One of her favorites, she describes, and says that has known ping pong for quite some time, apparently. Talk to me about ping pong, because not only is it striking to watch in action, but I want to know more about character, more about behavior. How would you describe ping pong?
He's like the easiest horse at all from my horses. He's such a clever, intelligent horse, which makes my job also a little bit easier, to be honest. And it's such a pleasure to work with him every day at home, and especially on the shows when he wants to do everything right. He's doing everything what I ask for.
Asking questions about character. Here's a question of social media. What would ping pong say to you if ping pong could talk now after winning an LGCT Grand Prix? That's maybe more insight into the character as well. I want to know what that relationship is like.
Maybe he would say that, finally you did a good job and that we were able to win.
You finally did your job. Yeah. Ping pong's been doing his job the entire time.
Exactly.
Talk to me about jumping here. We mentioned earlier on today the word expectation. And I don't enjoy the word pressure in the world of sport. Everyone deals with it every day. But expectation is different. When you are jumping on home soil, when all of these German fans are shouting for yourself and the other German compatriots, Christian Allman, etc., when you come out in front of a home crowd in a show that is in Germany, what does that do, the weight of that expectation on your shoulders?
To be honest, I just try to stick on my plan. But for sure, it's even more special especially now when it's so close to home and there's so many from my family, from my friends. Of course, you know it, and then especially then you want to do good. But like I said, I try to stick to my plan, just focus on me and my horse, and then don't think about the other things around too much.
Talk to us about the jump off. Where was that moment that you feel was the area? Because we watched their head-to-head, and ironically, it looked as if Petter was ahead of it for quite some time. It was only right towards the end on the final rollback into that line where you seemed to come in front. Give us your thoughts on it, because the head-to-head tells a story that it looked as if it was all going to be Petter Fredriksson. How did you then, in that last few moments, just get ahead?
I didn't see it, so but I think that I had a good shot to the second last with the Oxer after the green vertical. Maybe there I got a good shot, and then also a nice shot to the last. Probably then somewhere between the start and finish line I got the time.
A young, exciting man. What do you think winning on the Longines Global Champions Tour does for your career? What kind of springboard can this be for you? Kind of a catapult can this be for you now going into 2026 and beyond?
Exactly. It's definitely my highlight of the year so far. And it's also, I mean, he's 10. He's quite unexperienced on this level. So yeah, I'm just like try to do my job as good as possible, and then we see what the season holds for us. And
well,
next year.
I'll tell you what the season holds for you already now, and I know there's a lot that's been happening in the last 20 minutes for you, but what's happening for you now in the season is you've now bought yourself entry into the Longines Global Champions to a Super Grand Prix. It's the biggest ticket in the world of show jumping. You will now come to the GC Prague playoffs later on this year. Have you even begun to think about what it's going to be like to jump in a Longines Global Champions to a Super Grand Prix with the champions of the year?
Not really, to be honest. I was also not thinking about it. And just I heard it like 10 minutes ago that we also qualified now for the Super Cup. So yeah, I'm more than happy for it, and just like try to enjoy the day, and then we make new plans.
What is the plan for tonight? Hopefully some drinks, a dinner, something. Is there something that will
Probably yes. I mean, the owner from the horse was also here.
Wonderful.
So I think, or I hope that she's also happy. And then we'll probably have some nice dinner today.
I think that she and many other people will be very, very happy with this. Thank you very much for today. We appreciate having you in the studio. Congratulations. When do we see you again on the Longines Global Champions Tour? Unless it's only going to be
soon, latest in Prague, maybe.
Okay, well then listen, it is the most incredible show to be a part of, and we look forward to having you there. Enjoy tonight, enjoy the celebrations. You and Ping Pong were outstanding today. And to everyone here, to all the Germans in particular that have been in the Riesenbeck watching Gerrit Nieberg go on to win today with that incredibly beautiful 10-year-old gelding, as Ping Pong now is victorious, beating out a very impressive jump-off field. Today, 2025 in the Riesenbeck belongs to this man, as he now is crowned champion. And as we point out, will now participate in the upcoming Longines Global Champions to a Super Grand Prix in Prague later on this year. What a magical moment for him, and hopefully a lot of celebration as well. Let's show you the current rankings as well. What does this then do for the likes of Gilles Thomas, who was not here in Germany this weekend? Christian Kuckuck making up some ground, and the rest will hopefully try and catch Gilles Thomas as well. Andreas Skau now in third, a handful of points behind Christian Kuckuck. Simon de Lestre, after hiccups in Valkenswaard and hiccups in London, now makes up some points once more. He goes on to move into fourth place. Michael van der Vleuten makes up some ground, as does Max Kuhne, the defending LGCT champion, now into sixth. Scott Brash, Peter de Vos, and Harry Smolders coming inside the top 10 as well, as Natalie Dean now drops down to 10th place. It has been a wonderful weekend in Riesenbeck. Always good to come back here. We'd like to thank, of course, everyone for putting together such a wonderful show. We have a couple of days rest and then fly stateside as we get forward to the next stage. And what a monster stage that is going to be as we head over to the United States of America, head over to New York. We hope that you'll join us then for stage 12 of the Longines Global Champions Tour. Thank you for joining us in Riesenbeck, and we'll see you again in New York City. Bye-bye.